let's say that a man was elected to Congress in the Democratic Party, and the Democratic National Chairman decided he didn't like him, so he removed him. It's just as ridiculous because he can't do it. He was elected. And the only people that can remove an elected official are those people who elected him. They have to, in the case of a congressman, they would have to impeach him to elect him. I don't know that this would be the case in the case of a county chairman, but I do know that it takes a vote of no confidence from the county executive committee to remove Mel Bradford.
Can you explain why is it that the state chairman doesn't know this, apparently? That he would have written this letter saying that Mel Bradford is no more the county chairman?
Oh, I can't talk for the state chairman, but I think that possibly he might be being led down the wrong path by people he is putting some trust in.
The jobs of city policemen are usually considered very secure positions. Most departments offer retirement plans and a host of other fringe benefits. The Kennedale Police Department, whose ranks at one time numbered as many officers as 6, including reserves, has slowly dwindled down to one police chief, Bill Cruson, and a part-time warrant officer. Normally, when we think of problems facing law enforcement agencies, the first thing that comes to mind is the tremendous rise in the crime rate. Such is not the case here in Kennedale. One of their problems seems to center around transportation. The city patrol car was smashed up a while back when a former patrolman hit a pickup truck. The city fathers say this law enforcement burden is just a little more than they care to bear. The mayor of Kennedale, Bob Platt, told me that he will ask Tarrant County Commissioners Monday to allow his city to contract the services of the Sheriff's Department. You think then, Mayor, you'll be able to get a cheaper deal with Tarrant County if the Sheriff's Department
we do not know at the present. We will be able to tell you that after Monday with a meeting with the Commissioners Court and Sheriff Lon Evans.
How do you raise so much money in a small town like that to afford such a large force? You had 6 people before.
Well, the main source is strictly traffic tickets and traffic violations.
Let's see. You think you may have a speed trap there in Kennedale?
Oh, I wouldn't say speed trap. I would say that it had been over-exercised some.
You only have one traffic signal in the city, is that right?
That's right.
If the application is approved by Tarrant County, the township of Kennedale can thank Texas voters, for it was they who approved an amendment allowing towns to contract with county governments for police service. Coach East Cash, Channel 8 News, on the move, Kennedale.
How long have you been doing this?
45 years.
45 years. All of that with Ringling Brothers?
No, 23 years in Germany and Europe, and 23 years over here now.
What's her name, the big one?
Targa, that's main star, that's Indian name.
Oh, she's the #1 attraction.
Targa, yes.
How long have you worked with her?
I got her now 13 years.
Hello there, what's your name?
But. Huh? What do you say?
they're winning a very expensive microphone. Mr. Schmidt, thank you very much. And so the circus comes to town. It starts tomorrow. I think I just got goosed in the ribs by the little one. But anyway, the circus comes to town tomorrow. They'll be here for a week. It's Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey. It is the greatest show on earth. This is Jim Mitchell, Channel 8 News. On the move.
The reason I ask the question is because a public-supported bond issue, one, has a support of public. Two, it's a great deal cheaper to have that type of bond issue. The other alternative is having a revenue bond issue, which we can authorize for the same amount of money, but the interest rate's about 1.5 points higher. And of course, we're talking about several $1 million in interest.
Well, now, when we talk about a 75-cent per $100 evaluation, this is higher than the county, is it not?
Yes, it is.
And the entire county budget is what for the year?
Well, the total county budget is almost $20 million.
And what is the hospital budget?
Well, it's about the same.
So they spend more money on the hospital than they do on the county.
That's right.
That's right. I think they cheapen the value of the American flag when they say, let's raise our standards by banking at the Mercantile National Bank, along with supporting the flag and the ideals that they believe are affixed to the flag. I think that cheapens the flag. I think if the flag is going to be a good national symbol, then it has to be a symbol for all people and shouldn't be co-opted by either one political group or another, or by one firm or corporate interest over another.
This groundbreaking is a very unusual one because it is a part of will be, the Dallas County Southwest Center for Forensic Science Institute. It's unusual in many aspects. The groundbreaking itself partially is already done here in the parking lot. Here, this is a part of Southwestern Medical Center. Over here is part of Parkland. This is all donated for the Institute. The Institute is being called one of the most advanced in the United States. It has taken some areas 40 years to develop theirs, where it is taking us only about a year and a half, and will be completed shortly after the start. After the ceremony, I talked briefly with Dr. Charles Petty, Chief Medical Examiner.
Dr. Petty, with the groundbreaking today and the starting of the Forensic Science Institute, we're going to be solving a lot of problems. Now, you've had a lot of problems recently over the hassle with the funeral directors and the county commissioners last Sunday. Do you think that these problems are now on the way to be solved as well?
Well, I think they're growing pains that we're having. I think that we are bringing to the community a different form of investigation in the public interest than before. I don't think that the community as a whole understands this, and I think these problems are on their way to solution. We have set up a mechanism for handling some of the problems with the funeral directors, and I'm certain that the county commissioners and our organization can work out the problems that we had, which came to a culmination last Sunday.
Are you trying to stir up trouble, or do you really have deep-seated feelings about this?
I do have very deep-seated feelings about the whole nature of justice in this country. I'm not trying to stir up trouble. I'm not trying to cause trouble for any interest at all. It's just that my concern is that justice be carried out in Dallas, and that to do that we have to have uniform enforcement of the laws in Dallas. We can't enforce certain laws against some people and not against others, and that's where my concern comes about. I believe myself to be patriotic. I believe very strongly in this country, and when they do something that I believe is wrong, then I think I have not only a right but a responsibility to speak out on it.
Now, did the recent Deeds flag burning case, where Mr. Deeds got 4 years for burning the flag, did this have anything to do with your filing suit?
No, I had intended to do something of this nature to make sure that the law is going to be uniformly enforced before the Deeds case ever came up.
What kind of jobs do you deal with primarily, Terry?
We deal with just about everything, from an afternoon of mowing a lawn to a full summer of construction work or babysitting or secretarial work.
Do any of these applicants have training experience?
Some do and some don't. To help those that don't, we hold afternoon training sessions and give them a little bit of the basics in different fields. We've held a lawn clinic, a restaurant work clinic, a babysitting clinic, and we have several more planned for the rest of the summer.
Muriel, what are the age ranges of your applicants?
Well, we used to have a set limit, but now we find that even 11 and 12-year-olds can mow a lawn or babysit.
How do people contact you for more information then?
They can easily give us a call at Riverside 25777.
Thank you.
What do you young people think of all these animals?
Oh, guys. Fabulous. I've never seen so many horses and zebras.
What's your name?
Carmen Ortiz.
Carmen, what is your name?
I'm Danny
Turn
McNeil.
around here, Danny. What's the name?
I'm Danny McNeil.
Danny. And how do you like all these animals this year?
I think they're great.
You going to come see the circus?
Well, I'm not sure if I see the circus, but I like the animals.
I think your mother's going to tell you you've seen the circus right here today. Come here. You want to talk to me, sweetheart? What's your name?
Mary Gilligan.
Mary, have you ever seen this many animals before?
No.
but make me think that if people like a 19-year-old boy who was involved in showing political dissent in an act that I consider deplorable personally, in burning a flag, I don't think that's a good thing to do. I don't think it's a good way to express dissent, but I think it's something that should be covered under our First Amendment right to freedom of expression. But in seeing that, and seeing other cases throughout the country where the flag is being taken away from me by those who express a political opinion that I consider to be toward the right, or in support of one policy as against another. I think the flag should be for all of us, and I don't think it should be co-opted by one group or another. And that's why my concern about the use of the flag in advertising came up. Because
now, you're striking out against the use of the flag in advertising. What about the use of the flag as lapel pins, wearing on any part of the clothing, the trousers cuffs, the shoulders, bumper stickers? What about this?
I think it's certainly laudable that people show their support for this country by wearing the flag. The statute says that the ornamental use of the flag is within the law, and wearing the lapel pins, and I think wearing it on the clothing is certainly within those legal limitations. We have had a case in Dallas where someone wearing the United States flag on their clothing, and what, at least from my layman's opinion, I thought was ornamental use of the flag, the person is being prosecuted for that. But I think that that's just fine. What I disagree with is one corporation, and it happens in many cases in Dallas, trying to get a competitive advantage over others by using the flag. That by their affixing the flag to their advertisement, it's supposed to make you think that it's more patriotic to serve them, or that they seem to have some type of monopoly on support for our country. My support for the country might come in a different way than theirs, but I don't like the inference that I am unpatriotic by not supporting their product or accepting their service. And this is what I disagree with. And this is, I think, what the spirit of the law is, that one person shouldn't use that flag, or one corporation shouldn't use that flag to sell their products, or to make the people think that they are more patriotic than another firm and therefore should deserve service. That's the intention of the law, and that's why it was written that way.
In other words, you feel that Mercantile, by using the flag in their advertisements, are more or less furthering their own cause rather than the patriotic cause that is the outward appearance. You tried to go through the DA's office. Did you expect at any time to go and have a grand jury investigation as is currently planned?
No, I didn't. As I read the law, and in talking to numerous Dallas attorneys to get their understanding of the law, since I'm not an attorney, I found out that this is a misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor that could carry jail time, and therefore it's not subject to the Justice of the Peace Court, so it's something that would need to be filed with the district attorney's office. The district attorney's office, for unusual reasons, decided that they wouldn't decide on their own whether or not to prosecute, something that which is within their legal prerogative, but rather they took it off their shoulders and are going to hand it to the grand jury. I didn't expect that. I'm also rather concerned that in some stories that have appeared here in Dallas, the statement has been made that I filed a suit against Mr. R.L. Thornton. That, again, isn't the case. The person that I named